In this tribute video, we honor the American legends who have passed away today and in recent days. Welcome back to Movie Newscast. These remarkable individuals made lasting contributions to their fields, and we sadly say goodbye to them. Our heartfelt condolences go out to their families and fans. As we remember their legacies, we invite you to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up if their lives or work have touched you in any way. Your gesture is a sign of respect and remembrance. American Pickers star Frank Fritz dead at 60, complications from stroke, co-star by side. A rep for Frank Fritz tells TMZ he died from the effects of a stroke he had several years ago, and he had Crohn's disease for decades, which may have played a role. Frank was in a Quad Cities hospice facility on the Iowa-Illinois border and was surrounded by friends, including Mike Wolfe, when he passed. American Pickers star Frank Fritz has died, his longtime co-star and friend, Mike Wolfe, confirmed. Fritz's co-star posted on social media Tuesday, sharing the tragic news with fans, confirming the reality TV veteran died Monday evening. TMZ broke the story. Fritz notably stepped away from American Pickers back in 2021 after 12 years on the show. FF took a break from filming to deal with problems related to his Crohn's disease. He even underwent back surgery. Fritz and Wolfe had some estrangement at the time, with FF previously claiming his co-star didn't check on him after the procedure. The pair reportedly didn't speak for a while, but appeared to reconcile last year, with Wolfe hoping to film with Fritz again. The History Channel and Cineflix Productions released a statement. We are saddened to share that our friend and beloved member of the History Channel and American Pickers family, Frank Fritz, has passed away on September 30, 2024. Frank filmed American Pickers for over a decade. We will always remember the bearded charmer and his never-ending search for vintage motorcycles and bikes. Our thoughts are with Frank's loved ones during this difficult time. He will be deeply missed. Fritz was 60 years old. Rest in peace. John Amos, who led Good Times as Patriarch James Evans, has died, his son Kelly Christopher Amos announced. Per John's son, the Emmy-nominated actor died of natural causes in Los Angeles back on August 21. He continued, "It is with heartfelt sadness that I share with you that my father has transitioned. He was a man with the kindest heart and a heart of gold, and he was loved the world over. Many fans consider him their TV father. He lived a good life. His legacy will live on in his outstanding works in television and film as an actor." In addition to his work in Good Times, John was known for playing Gordy the Weatherman on The Mary Tyler Moore Show and for portraying older Kunta Kinte on Roots, which earned him an Emmy nomination at the 29th Emmy Awards. He also played Cleo McDowell in both Coming to America films, alongside Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, and James Earl Jones. Fans of The West Wing will also recognize John for his recurring role as Admiral Percy Fitzwallace, acting opposite Martin Sheen and the late John Spencer during its 7-season run. John is survived by his daughter, Shannon, and son, Casey, who he welcomed with ex-wife Noel Mickelson. The actor's children found themselves at odds last year when they disagreed over his medical care and threw elder abuse allegations at one another, prompting multiple investigations by the authorities, but were eventually closed due to lack of evidence. Casey was arrested back in July amid the sibling spat, after allegedly making threats against Shannon's life. Back in December, John was hopeful that his estranged family would work through their issues, though he repeatedly denied being a victim of elder abuse. He was 84. Rest in peace. Actor Ken Page dead at 70, known for voicing Oogie Boogie. Ken Page, a veteran voice actor and Broadway star, has died, TMZ has learned. Ken's rep, Lance Kirkland, tells TMZ, the Nightmare Before Christmas actor passed away very peacefully in his home in Street Louis Monday. We're told Ken sat down in his chair and passed away in his sleep. Kirkland continues, "He was a beautiful, talented man who was larger than life. Ken was loved and adored by so many and will be missed so much." This confirmation comes after Ken's friend, Dorian Hanaway, took to Facebook Monday evening to share the tragic news. At the time, the producer told her followers that KP had passed on to the next show, leaving her with a broken heart. Actress Sherry Belafonte followed up with a touching tribute to Ken, remembering the actor as one of the sweetest, most talented guys on the planet. Ken was best known for voicing the villainous Oogie Boogie in Tim Burton's 1993 animated musical, The Nightmare Before Christmas, a regular staple of both the Halloween and Christmas seasons. His other notable credits include Family Matters, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Sable, Adventures in Wonderland, and Dreamgirls. However, his Broadway legacy may leave the largest impact, having portrayed the lion in the 1975 stage production of The Wiz. He also played Nicely Nicely Johnson in Broadway's 1976 revival of Guys and Dolls, and Old Deuteronomy in Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats in 1982. His passing comes amid another loss in the Broadway community. Tony winner Gavin Creel also died Monday, following a battle with sarcoma, a rare and aggressive form of cancer. Ken was 70 years old. Rest in peace. MLB legend Pete Rose's cause of death revealed by coroner. The former MLB star's death was ruled natural by the Clark County Coroner's Office after he was found dead in his Las Vegas home on September 30. A coroner has ruled on Pete Rose's cause of death, one day after the Cincinnati Reds legend, whose storied career ended when he was banned from baseball for betting on games in 1989, passed away. Rose died from hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Clark County Coroner Melanie Rouse confirmed in a statement to People, adding that his death was of natural causes. The former baseball pro was 83 when he died at his home in Las Vegas, Nevada on Monday, September 30. TMZ was first to report the news. Rose's agent, Ryan Fitterman of Fitterman Sports, told the outlet, "The family is asking for privacy at this time, following the news of the former athlete's death." Following TMZ's report, the medical examiner in Clark County also told ESPN and ABC News that Rose was found by a family member and that there were no signs of foul play. Cincinnati Reds principal owner and managing partner Bob Castellini issued a statement on Monday after the news of Rose's death, saying that the organization is deeply saddened by the news of Pete's passing. He was one of the fiercest competitors the game has ever seen, and every team he played for was better because of him, Castellini continued on the organization's behalf. Pete was a Red through and through. No one loved the game more than Pete, and no one loved Pete more than Reds country. We must never forget what he accomplished. In an interview with KTLA, believed to be his last before his death, Rose said that he still hopes the MLB will give him a second chance and consider him for induction into the Hall of Fame. "It's been a long time, and there's been a lot of negative things happen in the world of baseball. I was absolutely 110% wrong for what I did, and that's bet on baseball games, and now you're punished for the rest of your life." Kris Kristofferson dead at 88. Country singer, Star is Born actor. Kris Kristofferson, the legendary country singer and star of the 1976 version of A Star is Born, has died, according to a statement released by his family. The singer-songwriter passed away peacefully Saturday at his home, according to the statement. The family says they feel blessed with all the time they spent with the star. They did not reveal a cause of death. The statement also tells fans, "When you see a rainbow, know he's smiling down at us all," seemingly a reference to his song, "Here Comes That Rainbow Again." Kristofferson broke into the music industry in the early 1970s mainly as a songwriter, penning tracks for hit artists like Johnny Cash, Ray Price, and Janis Joplin. He then started putting out his own tracks, starting with his debut album Christofferson in 1970. In 1972, he released Jesus is a Capricorn, which contained the song Why Me?, KK's first #1 country hit. Christofferson is survived by his wife Lisa and his kids Tracy, Chris Jr., Casey, Jesse, Jody, John, Kelly, and Blake. He was 88. Rest in peace. Beverly Hills Cop actor John Ashton. Dead at 76. John David Ashton, the actor best known as the hard-nosed by-the-book detective in the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, has died, TMZ has learned. John died peacefully Thursday in Collins, Colorado, after a battle with cancer, his rep tells us. During his 50 years in Hollywood, John appeared in more than 200 film, TV, and stage productions. But he arguably became a household name when he co-starred alongside an up-and-coming Eddie Murphy in 1984's Beverly Hills Cop. The actor appeared in 3 of the 4 BHC films, including the most recent, which was released to positive reviews from fans and critics on Netflix this year. In the franchise, John played Detective Sergeant John Taggart, who acted as the straight man for Eddie's antics as Axel Foley. Judge Reinhold played his goody, but lovable partner, Detective Billy Rosewood. The Springfield, MA native also appeared in MASH and played Eric Stoltz's father in the John Hughes comedy drama, Some Kind of Wonderful. In 1988, he co-starred in the action comedy Midnight Run as a rival bounty hunter to Robert De Niro's character. His most recent gig, in addition to the 4th BHC film, co-hosting the Ashton and Davis Show on 870 ESPN Radio. John's rep Alan Summers tells TMZ, John leaves behind a legacy of love, dedication, and service. His memory will forever be treasured by his wife, children, grandchildren, as well as his brother, sisters, his extended family, and all who loved him. John's impact on the world will be remembered and celebrated for generations to come. The family requests any donations in John's memory be made to Pathways Hospice Care. He was 76. Rest in peace. Drake Hodgeston, Days of Our Lives actor, dead at 70. Drake Hodgeston, a mainstay on the long-running soap Days of Our Lives, has died. Hodgeston's family announced the sad news on the Days of Our Lives Instagram, saying, "It's with heavy hearts that we announce the passing of Drake Hodgeston. He was thrown the curveball of his life when he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, but he faced the challenge with incredible strength and determination." They continued, "After putting up an unbelievable fight, he passed peacefully surrounded by loved ones. He was the most amazing husband, father, papa, and actor. He loved performing for the Days audience and sharing the stage with the greatest cast, crew, and production team in the business. We love him, and we will miss him all the days of our lives." Hodgeston first appeared on the show back in 1986. He played John Black, a character of many skills, including spy, cop, PI, and secret agent. He appeared in more than 4,200 episodes of the soap. There are just a few standouts in soaps when it comes to romance, like Luke and Laura. Well, his character in Deidre Hall's Marlena Evans is right up there. Hodgeston was in a number of productions, including Night Sins, Generation, Beverly Hills Cowgirl Blues, and One Stormy Night. Hodgeston was 70. Rest in peace. Sam Stringus dies. CSI and CSI. Miami producer who worked on Happy Days, Brady Bunch, Batman, and more, was 95. Sam Stringus, an Emmy-nominated CSI and CSI, Miami producer and Paramount exec, and whose career dates back to classic 1960s and 70s TV shows, including Batman, The Brady Bunch, and Happy Days, has died. He was 95. His family told Deadline that Stringus died July 23 of kidney failure at Little Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance, Kev, but the news had not been reported. Strangis' TV career spanned 6 decades, from directing NBC's 1957-59 antebellum Western, The Restless Gun, through the wildly successful first 2 seasons of CBS crime scene investigation and spin-off CSI Miami. He racked up dozens of credits along the way, also serving as Paramount's VP of TV production in the mid-70s. Strangis left the show after season 2 to work on the David Caruso-led spin-off CSI Miami, which premiered in September 2002 on CBS and was an out-of-the-box hit. He left the show after that initial season, but as the mothership show reigned as TV's #1 primetime series through 2004-5, CSI Miami was firmly ensconced in the top 10. Both would continue to draw large audiences for years to come. Strangis' many other series producing credits include syndicated Soldier of Fortune, Incorporated, and War of the Worlds, and CBS sitcom Harper Valley PTA. Earlier in his career, he served as second unit or assistant director on CBS, The Loner, and ABC's The Patty Duke Show and The New Breed. Strangis is survived by his wife, Bonnie, daughter Debbie, producer sons Gary and Greg, sisters Judy and Cindy, 5 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren. Gary Strangis is a 2-time Emmy-winning producer of The Practice, and Greg Strangis worked on such series as Falcon Crest and 8 is Enough. Callan Gorman dies. TV producer was 59. Callan Gorman, television producer and behind-the-scenes content provider for Ryan Murphy's Glee, died Tuesday, September 24, at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after a battle with breast cancer, according to The Hollywood Reporter, which first reported her death. She was 59. Gorman was a producer and director on numerous projects, including Ladies First with Grace Helbig, You Rock With, and Worst Firsts with Brittany Ferlin. But she was perhaps best known for her work on Glee, producing behind-the-scenes content during her stint at Fox Broadcasting, which generated millions of views on YouTube and other platforms. A Toronto native raised in Los Angeles, Gorman began her career assisting Pat Kingsley at PMK Public Relations, before moving into television, working as a segment producer at E! Entertainment Television and Access Hollywood. More recently, she worked for All3 Media America, Discovery, and Studio 71, where she executive produced and directed the Snapchat series, Keepin' It Real with Cake Palmer, Step by Step with Matt Stefanina, and Worst Firsts with Brittany Ferlin, and the Facebook Watch show Ladies First with Grace Helbig. Robert Watts dies. Star Wars and Indiana Jones trilogy's producer was 86. Robert Watts, a production manager on George Lucas' Star Wars and producer on its first 2 sequels, along with Steven Spielberg's first 3 blockbuster Indiana Jones movies, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, died Monday in his sleep at his home in West Sussex, England. He was 88. His rep Julian Owen of Alliance Media confirmed the news to Deadline, writing, "Good night to my wonderful friend and client Robert Watts, producer of some of the most famous films in cinema history. Talking about his career was his favorite thing to do. We had some amazing adventures together which I will cherish forever." Watts also was busy during the 1990s, serving as a producer on the 1991 Toon sequel An American Tail, Fievel Goes West, and Frank Marshall's 1993 pick Alive and follow-up documentary Alive, 20 years later. "We have sadly lost another great one, Robert Watts," Marshall posted on social media. "He was loved by all who worked with him, and I learned a lot from his vast knowledge, wonderful spirit, and sense of humor. Sail on, dear friend, sail on." Born on May 23, 1938 in London, Watts earlier in his career worked as a production or unit manager on such films as Stanley Kubrick's 2001, A Space Odyssey, 1968, Inspector Clouseau, 1968, Papillon, 1973, and Skyriders, 1976. Before that, he was a second unit or assistant director on the 1965 James Bond pick Thunderball, also starring Connery, along with other mid-60s films including The Winston Affair, The Yellow Rolls-Royce, Hysteria, and Darling. Watts also appeared in an unbilled role as an AT-ST driver in Return of the Jedi and did some voice work on An American Tail, Fievel Goes West. Alliance Media's Owen cited Watts' friend and caretaker Sue Rummery. She looked after him for many years, he said. Without her, we would not have been able to take Robert to conventions. He added that Robert's lasting wish was to see Harrison Ford one last time. We were lucky enough to make that a reality last year at the London premiere of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny in Leicester Square. Information on survivors and a memorial service was not immediately available. Dikembe Mutombo dies. Basketball Hall of Famer who served as an ambassador for the sport was 58. Dikembe Mutombo, the shot-blocking specialist whose Hall of Fame career included being named NBA Defensive Player of the Year 4 times over 18 seasons, and who was an ambassador for the sport after his retirement, has died. He was 58. The NBA said today that he died of brain cancer in Atlanta, but did not give any other details. He had been diagnosed in 2022. After retiring, Mutombo became a true ambassador of the game, working on humanitarian and charitable causes, often in his native Africa. Through his foundation, Mutombo helped build a remarkable $29 million hospital in his home country of Congo, contributing $15 million of his own money to the project. Fluent in 9 languages, he worked with such groups as UNICEF and the Special Olympics, and helped develop the Basketball Africa League. He was a humanitarian at his core, Silver added in his statement. He loved what the game of basketball could do to make a positive impact on communities, especially in his native Democratic Republic of the Congo and across the continent of Africa. Born on June 25, 1966, in Kinshasa, Mutombo also has a handful of acting credits, most recently playing himself in the 2021 Eddie Murphy sequel Coming to America. He also played himself opposite Kyrie Irving and other current and former NBA stars in the 2018 basketball comedy Uncle Drew, and appeared in 2002's Juwanna Mann. He also voiced himself in a 2018 episode of Family Guy and played off his unique public persona in a number of commercials, including one for Jayco. Gavin Creel, Tony winner and star of Hair, Hello Dolly, Into the Woods and More, dies at 48. Gavin Creel, a Tony-winning Broadway star who appeared in Hair, Hello Dolly, Into the Woods and More, died Monday at his home in Manhattan of metastatic melanotic peripheral nerve sheath sarcoma. His publicist confirmed to the New York Times. He was 48. A 20-year Broadway veteran, Creel won his first Tony Award in 2017 for Best Featured Actor in a Musical for Hello Dolly, and he was nominated prior to that in 2009 for Hair and in 2002 for Thoroughly Modern Millie. He also won a Grammy in 2023 for Best Musical Theater Album for the Broadway revival of Stephen Sondheim's Into the Woods. For originating the role of Elder Price in The Book of Mormon in the West End, he won a Laurence Olivier Award in 2014. Between 2012 and 2016, he appeared in the U.S. National Tour cast, performed on the West End, and served as a Broadway replacement for the irreverent musical comedy. In 2017, Creel finally won the Tony for playing Cornelius Hackle in the Broadway revival of Hello Dolly with Bette Midler. After that, he played Dr. Pomatter in Sarah Burial's Waitress on Broadway and the West End. His final Broadway role was in the 2022 revival of Into the Woods as the Wolf and Cinderella's Prince, and he also appeared in the off-Broadway show Walk On Through, Confessions of a Museum Novice. Creel made his TV debut in 2003's Eloise at the Plaza and appeared in its sequel, Eloise at Christmas Time. He also appeared in episodes of Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, American Horror Stories, and more. 2 years ago, House MD star Hugh Laurie shocked fans when he made a rare public appearance. Known for his role as the sharp-tongued Dr. Gregory House, Laurie's unexpected transformation sparked widespread curiosity. After his role in House MD, Hugh Laurie stepped back from the spotlight, choosing a quieter life away from the constant attention of Hollywood. The show, which ran for 8 successful seasons, cemented Laurie as a household name. Yet, following its conclusion, Laurie gradually faded from public view, focusing on personal endeavors and smaller projects. When Laurie reemerged in 2022, fans were caught off guard by how much he had changed. His public appearance stirred up curiosity about what had been happening in his life since the show ended. It left many wondering if the transformation was linked to his personal or professional journey. Laurie's portrayal of Dr. Gregory House on House MD was nothing short of legendary. The show premiered in 2004, and Laurie's character, known for his biting wit and unconventional methods, became a fan favorite almost immediately. His performance was a deep dive into a complex, troubled character that Laurie mastered with precision. Over 8 seasons, Dr. House's sharp intelligence and difficult demeanor made for one of the most compelling characters on television. Although Laurie's success as Dr. House was undeniable, the role came with immense pressure. In nearly every scene, Laurie carried the weight of the show's success on his shoulders. Playing the same intense character for such a long period took its toll on the actor, both mentally and physically. It was a very consuming part, and I worked very hard to get it right, he'd later share. By the time the series ended in 2012, Laurie was ready to step away from the spotlight, admitting that the role's long hours and emotional demands had left him exhausted.